Hey, what's up, everybody? Here I am, driving home. Anyway, Trucker Jim did a video, and I want to respond to it. I think let's just start up from the top. Let me tell you about what I think about Trucker Jim. All right, I noticed Trucker Jim a couple of years ago. All right, did good stuff. Had a lot of passion, great at storytelling. The videos were great at storytelling. He's able to keep you intrigued, keep you interested in the video throughout the entire time. It seems like, or at least for me, for the most part, when I do watch. So a lot of times when Trucker Jim does a video, I ain't got 20 minutes because I know it'll probably take that long to get through the video. And so, I don't watch all of them. But, the ones that I do, I love. The thing that I love about Trucker Jim, it's not so much that, exactly what he's doing, right? It's not that. It's that he kind of brings in this old school YouTube mentality that I respect. I respect someone who's bringing in this old school mentality, and he's doing a good job. And those were the reasons why I first admired Trucker Jim. And then I met the dude last year. He went up to GATS, and his energy that he has on video is the same kind of energy you get with him, in person. Which is, it's a good positive vibe, good positive energy, and and all that. And he's all around good people. So when he makes a video like he did, in my view, it holds a lot of weight. And I respect his opinion. Okay, I respect his opinion. And I'm glad he did the video he did. Let me tell you something. I'll tell all you guys something. Obviously, he named the title Inbred Empire. And there's some people that are, loving the name Inbred Empire. Me, myself, there's nothing to be proud of that name. It's an insult. It's an insult at your family. So why entertain the name? Why embrace it? You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. But what he called me out on were a couple of things. But he showed a clip of me talking about the coaching calls. And listen, that is the core of the thing that I disagree with Red Viking Trucker. Now, I'll also agree that there's sometimes Red Viking Trucker has good content. That he ain't trying to pimp his stuff. Ain't trying to sell all this stuff. And when he ain't doing that, when he's giving advice on some stuff, or maybe having someone that calls in on his video, whatever, Google Hangouts, and he does an interview, sometimes they're good stuff. Sometimes it's good stuff. And there's no reason for me to hate on some of that. But then he goes in on the insults, he goes and leaves comments, on my videos, and, he'll make these little things like Inbred Empire, your wives, or, it's like, listen, man, I just disagree with the coaching calls. Here's the thing that I know that I went over the line, but my emotions got to me, is, and I never have really said this, but, when these women came forward and everything, I was like, interesting. And then, but then the daughter came out, and that really kind of got to me, because I've got daughters, okay? And I've got daughters, and it made me feel a certain way. Kind of made me upset, but, and so, what did I do? I went live and I started talking what my feelings were towards that situation. And when I'm thinking back about it now, I think about, well, actually a night or two later, I had a dream about that very subject. Like, what if it was like my daughter turning her back on me? How would I feel? I would feel horrible. Oh my gosh, because my daughters are my world, okay? They are. And it would just be I'd be in a bad situation. So what I'm trying to get at is that I didn't go into that thinking with, compassion and empathy, other than for the daughter, but not towards RVT. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things. On the other hand, none of my business anyway. So should I have done a live feed about it? Probably not. But my emotions, there's a part of me that just wants to express myself. And when I go back and I think about it, I'm like, you know what? That's a family issue that, they need to work out. Okay? They just need to work out. I feel bad for that whole situation, And so if RVT and, Brittany, I think her name is, if you guys are watching, I hope y'all repair that relationship. I do. I really hope y'all do, because you're both still alive, and that's a good thing. Because if something happens, one of you, passes away or whatever, and y'all don't have that resolved, the surviving person is going to feel really bad, and it's going to be that brokenness on the inside of them for the rest of their lives. And so, and listen, we all make RVT into a monster, including myself. I've said those type of things. But my thing is that he's still a human being. There is still a human being deep down in that shell. Okay? There is. And I'll admit when I overlook all that and I just look at what I see on the exterior. You know what I'm saying? So Jim, you're absolutely right in a way, but I still don't agree with coaching calls. It's still against the code. Okay? It's still against the code, and I won't back down from that. But here's the thing. This is your point. Let me get to your point of your video. Is that why are we doing 15 million videos on one person? And for the most part, it is to get the message out there to people, like, don't waste your money, okay? Don't waste your money for this stuff that is free. It's free. All you have to do is ask people or Google things, okay? And that's my whole point. That's my whole point. You were basically talking about some other things, about maybe doing some more creativity. And listen, I'm one of the old school guys, okay, on YouTube, and I've evolved. But let me take y'all back in the day, because a lot of you guys weren't on YouTube, or at least you weren't watching truckers on YouTube back then. A lot of people were on YouTube, just not watching. But there's a lot of you guys that are in your 20s now. You were just kids. You were just kids when I started doing YouTube trucking. You know what I'm saying? It's almost been 10 years ago. And there's a lot of people, that are doing this stuff. They're in their early to mid 20s. And I got to think, what was I doing then? And what were we doing then? There was more videos about, what we did in a day, okay? And we would do those videos, talk, but show what we were doing in a day, by using camera angles, talking, showing the road, showing different places of the country. Things that I would do is show you some of the things that a lot of these people that came before me wouldn't show you. Those other people came before me wouldn't show you the bad and negative side of trucking. And I'm like, well, there is a bad negative side of trucking, and I was the first ones to point that out. Okay, it's like, hey, you're getting into trucking, but expect this. Okay, you're not going to be. It's not going to. Sometimes you'll be miserable. You just will. There's a lot of trashy places out on the road. You know, truck drivers do a lot of trashy things. You know, and I'd be one of those guys that pointed out. But, you know, but here, through time, what I'm trying to say is I'm showing my life out on the road. I'm showing all this different stuff. You know, occasionally I would do a live feed, but that live feed was like on Ustream. YouTube didn't even have a live option. Facebook didn't have it. There was no, what's that one with Twitter that's associated with Twitter? I can't remember. But before, what we would have to do was go to like Ustream and do it through your computer. And it was a hassle, but I mean, we did it anyway, or I did. And I mean, you get 5-10 people watching. You know, in those early days, you know, we're talking about the early days here, okay? We're talking about 2010, okay? We're talking about those days. I mean, in 2010, I didn't have a lot of subscribers, but I didn't have a lot of people knew who I was, but I had a few. But those live feeds, there wasn't trolling in them. It was basically the interaction. And it was pretty innocent interaction, and we weren't always talking about trucking. What my point is this, and I've seen it, a lot of the older YouTubers have seen it, is that one of the reasons why you see YouTube in the way it is today is because of how easy it is to go live off your phone, do live feeds off your phone. And I'm one of the worst at it, because why? It's like, hey, it's instant access to an audience, okay? When before, it's, well, got to be creative to do it. And the live feeds have taken a lot of creativity out. By the way, side note, right here where I'm at, if I'm on a live feed, I lose service. I lost service way back there. I'm still out of service. Just saying. So there you know, I was down in a hole. I'm coming out of it. But anyways, back to what I was saying though. You lose your creativity when you're going live. There's, you know, nothing there. But, you know, the interaction is healthy. Here's the problem. Because you get so many different opinions out there. There's so many different ways of doing things in trucking, and so many different opinions and theories and all that. And when you have such a diverse, trucking is very diverse of people, you know, obviously different diverse races and different, you know, genders and different sexualities, different, you know, political views, different characteristics. I mean, you know, just, you know, different. I mean, you got city boys, you got country boys, you got liberals, you got Republicans, you got all this stuff. You got old farts, you got new farts. You know, well, not really new farts, but you know what I'm saying. And there's just so many different types of people out here, and you get everybody doing these live feeds, and you would get pot stirs in the comments, and you would get those pot stirs coming in there, and it would get you to pop off and say something that's not your content, not where you wanted to go with this. Then you just offended someone else on another channel. Well, they go live, and before you know it, everybody's in a fight. Okay? And that is what live feeds have done. And I am 100% guilty. I mean, I am. And it's turned to a lot of trash talking. Now, some would say, well, trash talking is part of trucking. Absolutely. Ball busting is a part of trucking. It always has been. If it hadn't been on YouTube, it was on the CB radio. Okay? It's just always been there. But then there's that certain respect, though. There's still that certain respect, the places you do not go. And the problem with the internet is that you got those people that go to those places where you just don't go. And that is, I believe, in my opinion, the biggest thing wrong with YouTube today, as far as in our space, the trucking space, is the live feeds. And I've said this for a long time, I just can't commit to it. It's like, man, I need to stop doing live feeds. I need to stop doing live feeds and be a bit more creative. But it gets addictive. I'm on my way home right now, okay? I like the interaction while I'm going down the road, It's just like, just something, a part of me that has gotten addicted to it. Back to what Trucker Jim was saying. Trucker Jim, I agreed with your video 100%, okay? And I hope everybody listens to his video and listens to the words. I don't think he was trying to be destructive. If you feel like you got punched in the gut in that video, instead of getting mad at Trucker Jim, why don't you say, well, does he have a point or not? Because he punched me in the gut. But I didn't get mad at him because I know where he's coming from. And I just started self-observing. It's like, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. And that's one of the reasons why I respect you so much, because you have a certain point. You come from a old school YouTuber, mentality, which, I miss. I'm one of those old school YouTubers, but I'm still here. And I've evolved with everything, where a majority of my stuff has gone into live feeds now. Now, in the video that Trucker Jim did, he challenged us all to do a trucker vlog, just the best, the greatest trucking vlog or whatever. Here's the problem there, Jim. I'm a local driver now, and vlogs and what I'm doing they just ain't happening. Okay, they just ain't. First of all, I don't have the time. Second of all, the company doesn't want me filming on customers' properties. Well, guess what? I'm always on customer property. Okay? So I'm to the place where I'm not doing trucker right you anymore. I'm not doing all this stuff. But hey, I'm at the house more. Now, if I start filming some stuff at the house, whether it be fishing, radio stuff, or whatever, a lot of truckers just ain't interested in that. The views will go down. And that's not a deal breaker for me. It's not. Here's the thing. Do I pay attention to views? Do I enjoy having views? Absolutely I do. But YouTube has never been my life. Never has been. It's kind of been a part of my life for the last, especially a few years. But for the most part, it's just something I do on the side. It's a hobby for me. It's a hobby that I make actually a little bit of money on. But at the end of the day, it's fun. When I first got on YouTube, I never expected to have any of this that I have, as far as, subscribers, views, supporters, haters, or whatever. My point was, I'm going to make some videos because I've enjoyed doing videos from, even when I was a kid. Take those videos and edit them and share them with my friends and family back home. Okay? That's what I would do in those early videos. If you look at old trucker rag shoes, you would see that. My lot lizard video that's got 3 million views, that video was actually done for a friend of mine. If you hear me, bring out a guy's named Tracy, who's not a truck driver. He's a radio guy. And he told me, it's like, if you see a lot lizard, film it for me. And I did. And I put it out there for him, and it got 3 million views. But, that was from way back in the day. But, I mean, my daughter, my youngest daughter, who's like little mini me, she would watch me and everything. I remember I did a video where I'm going to Butler Transport, okay? And I'm in a, I'm flying Southwest Airlines out of Dallas. And, I'm filming outside the window there. You're looking down, and I turn the camera towards me, and I have this kind of weird face and everything. And my daughter at that time, when she was about 5, okay? And, my wife, had called me up, after I posted that video. She said, that your daughter was just laughing. She got a, giggle out of the face that you made. Right? So, especially back then, my kids would watch me and my wife would watch me. Now they don't. One of the reasons why is because, they got used to me on here. But another thing is that it has got into trash, whether it be, because of my doing or other people's doing. But my wife, is a certain way, and there's a lot of stuff that she doesn't like. Same thing with my kids. It's like they don't like it, and so they don't watch me. And I remember one time my daughter watching something from a couple of years ago. One of my haters made a video, and she looked at it, and I remember her being affected by it. My wife said that she just laughed, or no, she said she just laughed and everything. But my wife said she was a little affected by it. And sometimes we all need to just go back and think about that. Think about what our kids, if they stumble upon our videos, what would they see? What would they see? So, Trucker Jim, you're talking about trucking companies and stuff like that, watching us, which is absolutely correct. You are absolutely 100% correct, and and I back you up in that the statement that you made. But there's also a family, factor. Do we want our kids watching this? Do we want our kids watching this? And quite frankly, lately on mine, absolutely not. It's like, I go back and I look at some of my stuff that I've done, and I try to look at it through my daughter's eyes, and I cringe, and I'm like, I facepalm myself. Like I said, I'm my own worst critic. Okay, so. Even though I won't take you up on your challenge there, Trucker Jim, because of where I am, I will take up a certain part of that challenge where I will start doing more creative stuff. Okay? There's one thing about me that's always been persistent on my channel since day one, though. I've always been opinionated. And that's the reason why I have a lot of haters, is because, not everybody agrees with opinionated people. Some people say, well, you leave your opinions to yourself. Some people, love your opinions. Some people think they hate your opinions. And, you turn into a very polarizing figure. And I like that. But, so where people draw cross that line. And those are the things that you're referring to, Jim, and I back you up 100% on that. And I'll take your challenge as far as doing my part to fix my stuff. Okay, I still enjoy doing YouTube. YouTube is a fun thing for me. Creating is becoming a challenge because I got so used to doing, trucking videos. But, it's time to start challenging myself to figure out something other than trucking to do. So to my viewers, I understand if you don't want to watch, if I'm doing some gardening and I film what I'm gardening, I understand if that's not your thing. I fully expect that my view counts to go down. But at the end of the day, am I happy with what I do? Because at the end of the day, that's what matters. That's what matters. Because if you're trying to please viewers or please the masses or whatever, and you'll do stuff that you're not accustomed to or you don't feel comfortable with doing, then what's the point of doing that? At the end of the day, it should be what we do, what we want to do, and not what others want us to do. So, shout out to Trucker Jim in his video. You guys check that. I am not a member of the Inbred Empire, but I am a YouTuber. I am a husband, a father. You know, I drive a truck for a living. It's just what I am. Talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. I'm pulling in the driveway right now, 73.